Greetings! In this episode of the Opin ovi podcast, we interview two students from Bosnia and Herzegovina. My name is Jaakko Rousu and I am the project planner of the National Coordination Project. Emina Frjlak and Mirela Kovacevic are master's students in pedagogy. They came to Finland for a semester to study special education. They also wanted to learn about adult education in Finland, and thus they met with the coordination project. My fellow interviewer in the following conversation is Auli Röhänen, the project manager of the National Coordination Project. So, can you please start with telling who you are and what you are doing here?
Okay. Well, my name is Mirela Kovacevic. I come from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Back home I study pedagogy and I'm on my first year of my master studies, and for this semester I came to Finland for exchange, and here I am on special education. That's it basically.
My name is Emina Frjlak. I'm also from Bosnia and Herzegovina. I studied together with Mirela. We studied pedagogy back home, but here we are on exchange for 5 months and we study special education on the University of Frjlak.
How familiar is the adult education situation in Bosnia to you?
Well, we were talking just about that because in our country adult education is not so developed. Because, for example, we even don't have a department for adult education on our faculties. Because we study pedagogy, we just have 2 courses about adult education on our department. And when it's about adult education, in our country, almost all projects are funded by NGOs, because on the state level we don't have adult education law or something like that. The situation is a bit complicated.
Okay. How familiar is the adult education situation in Bosnia to you?
Well, I think the main problem is bad communication between like those separate or even cantons or federation or Republika of Srpska. And when I heard that you have like 50 projects and you cover all of them together, and we have like, you can say 13 different point of views, and we cannot even agree on one law, I think it's really hard. I don't know what would help us. Maybe just make one unique law on the state level.
What is the situation like regarding guidance and counseling services in your country?
Like only the NGOs. I think only the NGOs do the counseling and nobody else, right?
Yeah, actually, I think there's nothing on the state level. We have NGOs and they are making some kind of trainings, seminars, and all those things for the adult educators or something like that. But on the faculties, maybe we have some kind of, this is something like a teacher education, what we are going to talk about right now. For example, professors who are working on the faculties, they can get their pedagogical education on our department, for example. But when it's about guidance and counseling, that's, I think, all in NGOs.
What about in schools?
In schools?
Do you have your the own guidance in schools?
No. Not even in primary schools or high schools, no.
No, unfortunately.
Okay.
Are there any plans to have guidance in, like public guidance in the future? Are there any political, movements towards that?
Well, I think that we are a lot of steps behind that, because we first have to make that law and then go towards to that. But like maybe next 5 or 10 years, maybe, not sooner, I think.
Yeah.
What about in Finland we have labor offices and there is guidance and counselings. Do you have this kind of?
Not familiar with that, definitely. Actually, I just got in my mind that, I don't know, is it connected, but I think we have some kind of I think it's a Cherokee Brig, something like some kind of a school they can go, but it's private and you have to pay for that.
Okay.
So there's nothing good with what's funded by government or something like that. You just have to pay for it, and it's private, and we are all in those private things, and that's the problem because education is becoming more and more private in our country.
Okay.
So basically you can buy everything. That's the problem. You even can buy diploma on faculty.
Okay.
So we are really corrupted country. I have to mention that here, unfortunately.
So what has been your best experience in Finland?
Well, we have been on our special education practice in Keski-Palokan koulu, and I think the best thing for me is that like the teachers and the pupils are on the same level. It's not that the teacher is on a podest, like he's authorized.
Authority.
Yeah, and they approach to him like saying just by their names, and I think it makes a more comfy relationship between pupils and teachers, and it's more comfortable to be in school. It's not so oppressed, and I think that's pretty important. And we still don't have that because you have to, towards your teacher, you have to show respect, of course, and I think just the relationship is tightened up, and that's not so good.
Yeah, because everything is about hierarchy, from the primary school till higher education, even on faculties. We are something on a lower level. So here it's different because it's more flexible and it's relaxed. So we can talk to our teachers on something like on the same level. But in our country, you have a feeling that you are not good enough to talk to teachers, that you are not qualified enough because you are a student and your opinion is something like a less worth than the teachers. So I think that's something like because we are transferring from communism to democracy, and because we are that country in transition, and we have those authority questions and hierarchy. So it was really new experience for us to study here, and everything was so flexible. So I think that's the best thing about Finland and about education here, because
equality.
Because you are something like you feel appreciated.
What will you do when you're going home, back to home? What's the first thing?
Well, the first thing is that we actually, the day after we arrive home, we have a meeting with our, I can say, working group for adult education. Yeah. So it's pretty...
that's what we are doing.
Yeah, that's why we will report to them. How are you cooperating with the things here? So, but the thing is, we have our working group, but the thing is that you don't have so much opportunity to bring that, like whatever we find out, for example, to
implement anything.
Yeah, to implement anything. Anyways, to implement it for like I can say regular people to profit out of it.
Okay. I think the first thing we have to do is to finish our faculty, because we still have 1 year of our master studies. But the problem will be after we finish it, we won't get the job, because the rate of unemployment is really high in Bosnia, and especially for pedagogues in schools, because they are even people when they got their they are retired, they even want to work more and more. They don't want to go to retirement, so we have to wait for our jobs. And after you finish your faculty, you don't have any working experience. And when they are publishing something like when they are searching somebody who's going to work, they are just saying, oh, you have to have 3 years of experience or something like that. But I cannot get any experience if somebody don't want to employ me or something like that. So that's going to be a really big problem after we finish our faculty.
Yeah, but it's the same problem is here in Finland.
Mm-hmm. Humanistic is like
problematic
everywhere.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this Opin ovi podcast. To find more podcasts and videos produced by the National Coordination Project, go to blogit.jamk.fi/opinovikanava.